Welcome back to Mud Lake Ranch. Today we're here with an e-bike rack from Outfitter. This bike rack can accommodate 2 fat tire e-bikes for on-road or off-road transportation of these large bikes. Both these bikes weigh in at 79 to 80 pounds. The hitch has a 200-pound capacity. We're falling just below that, but 20 pounds is a pretty significant amount of weight. This easy fold aluminum e-bike carrier has a ramp that allows you to roll the bikes up onto the ramp, making it much easier than trying to lift these awkward bicycles up onto the ramp. I didn't have much trouble in the initial assembly or installing the rack onto the truck's hitch. This is a 2-inch receiver bike rack, so it'll accommodate most common truck hitches. It has a threaded pin, so it'll help keep the rack from wobbling. In my demonstration, I did not put that all the way in. I probably should have to aid in the stability of the rack, but it still worked well on this bumpy dirt road. The bikes are fastened in 3 positions, both wheels with padded covers on the rim area, and they're a ratchet style strap that has individual clicks, kind of like what you have for snowshoes or things like that. And then it has one adjustable post that allows you to connect the bike in multiple positions on the frame of the e-bike. The back one I had a little bit of trouble. I tried to wrap here. The main post of the bike is far too big around for this strap to actually wrap around. So on this one I was able to do the crossbar. On the Mach-Wheel there is no crossbar. It's a step-through design, so that one I mounted on the seat post because it would not fit around the main battery compartment of the bike. But both of these fit on here perfectly. There's plenty of space between both bikes and the vehicle, so as they are moving, undulating down the road, they did not slam into each other. At all. They actually didn't move a heck of a lot. Really, the rack's moving and they're moving with it. So they're extremely stable on this rack. Now, I haven't taken them off yet, but this does have a folding design. So when the bikes are off the rack, which we'll get to soon, you pull on this lever here and you're able to fold the e-bike rack up vertically against the truck, so you don't have this huge rack sticking out behind you when the bikes aren't on it. So we'll get these bikes off here in just a moment once we wrap up the thoughts on the rack. First thought was the racks are just a little narrower than I would like. Narrower this way. This situation here with this metal bracket gave me a little bit more peace of mind than this situation where the tire, it does have an adequate amount of space on here, but if I move this all the way back, it's raising it up and not as effective as this situation. These blocks slide by picking up these levers here, so you can move them to accommodate different size e-bikes. Most of these are very close to the same. This is intended for extremely fat tire e-bikes. These are 4-inch wide e-bike tires, and it will accommodate slightly wider, I believe 5 or 6-inch e-bike tires. So my only complaint thus far was that there was one thing with assembly when you have to actually assemble this. It does include instructions. One of these things, the arm in the instructions, showed this welded on the opposite side. I got the bike rack almost completed and then started taking it apart and then realized this was not a piece that I screwed up on. It actually was welded on the opposite side. In the directions it shows it on the inside, or it was the back one was shown on the outside, one or the other, but one of them was literally welded on the wrong direction. And as I started taking it apart, realized it'll work, we can get it done. I think pretty sure it was this one because that's where it's got the handle and it showed it on the opposite side. So somebody in assembly just welded the part on the wrong side. It still works, we're good. It says this is a aluminum construction. The folding ramp had to store in the truck. I don't see a place to put that on the rack itself, so you're going to have to find a slot. It would have been really cool if they had a thoughtful design to slide it into a tube or strap it to the rack somehow, but that doesn't exist, so we're not going to complain about it. We just are aware that you got to remember to bring the ramp with you, and you have to remember to take the ramp off the rack itself. The straps are easy to reach just by simply pushing on the latch that's here. These things do spin, and one of them I had turned around and I didn't realize it until I was trying to fasten the bike that I was feeding it the wrong way. There is a directional arrow on it showing the direction of feed. If you put these in the wrong way, it'll be harder. You'll have to push the bracket to load them the incorrect way, and they don't stay latched. So I failed at 3 points when I was trying to put the bike on, just because I tried to feed it the direction that the strap bracket, the strap fastener was positioned. They easily rotate to the opposite direction. Once I figured that out, everything was smooth sailing. That was the only one that I had an issue with, and it was only an issue because of user error. To take the first bike off, unlatch the top part last because you don't want the bike to flop over while you're releasing the wheels. You do have to hold the strap in the entire time. You have to hold the latch open the entire time you're feeding them out, and once you've got them out, same as when you install them, pull the strap down so that's out of the way. That way they're not getting hung up on stuff while you're working. So that easy. Now we remove the top one, and I have this I have a microphone on that one. So you're going to hold the bike while you unlatch the strap so it doesn't flop over. These will slide out of the way. You just got to slope the bike out of the way. And then you can roll the bike off the ramp. You get hung up a little bit on the handlebars, but not too bad. Links to this bike rack and both of these awesome e-bikes will be in the description and the pinned comment. All right, this one's a good one to do the example on. So you have to push the latch in and maintain pressure on the latch to get the strap out of it. Pull it through your tire and then rock that down. And the same with this side. Apply pressure to the release, pull the strap out, and move that out of the way. Then what we have left is this one right here. These bars pivot, and the height can be changed here to accommodate whatever type of bike that you are running. And I didn't actually move these, which I probably could have, should have. I like them as high as I can get them for upward stability, vertical stability. All right, so that's off. Move it out of the way. Bring it down the ramp. All right, so once you've got the bikes off the rack, fold up your ramp and put it someplace safe. This bar has a maximum amount it can go this direction. So you have to fold them down. This pin pulls out. Before transport, I also would wrap your straps into their appropriate buckles. So when this is positioned at the highest position, it can clear the bicycle tire, I don't know what you call it, retaining strap, metal retaining strap. So that's up and out of the way, and they max out right there, so they can't go any further. Make sure you don't get any interference with your spokes. That was easy. If you're interested in purchasing this rack or either of these bikes, the links will be left in the description and in the pinned comment. I hope you enjoyed this video on the Outfitter 2 e-bike rack with ramp. If you found this video useful, helpful, or interesting, please hit that thumbs up and subscribe.